Hello and welcome to the worst movie ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hasek. Hey guys, how are you? And why are we doing this?
I am wonderful because we're watching a movie about Dwayne Johnson playing Dwayne Johnson, starring Dwayne Johnson, even though Dwayne Johnson isn't the star, but we don't know that until the third act because he's actually the villain. Is that we're talking, of course, about 2005's Doom.
Yeah, you know what? I think it might be smart to start these episodes by just explaining it a bit. And so here's what it is: Doom is a video game. Doom is also a
Yes,
movie. The movie
it
Doom
is.
has very little to do with the video game. It
Yes,
takes place on Mars, which I think is true in the video game. Correct me
yeah,
if I'm wrong.
it is.
Uh, and it's supposed to be like demons, but in the movie, it's like mutant humans that go rogue and kill everyone. So Dwayne the Rock Johnson and his platoon are sent there to stop the leak so that they don't come back to Earth through the portal
Yeah.
that's been opened, and
Uh-huh.
and therefore destroying humanity. So that's the setup, and we'll see where it goes. What's up, Bob?
Bob.
Hey, what's up? I think we're doing Doom because Rob loves this podcast,
Yeah,
yet
Yes.
he wants us to suffer like he has.
that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the show. So
I do
nailed it.
think it's just us like throwing left hooks and right hooks with movies we've seen that we know are bad at the
I
others.
think you're
Well,
exactly right.
I didn't see Doom. I had to write about it because like it was like streaming and it scored really low, but people are watching it anyways. So I
Yeah,
did like a bunch of research on the movie, and I was like, this would be perfect for the podcast. So I ended up watching it after I did my research, and that's where we are today.
that's where we are.
Yeah,
Let's see where the people of today are on YouTube.
cool. That's the theme song. As we do go on to talk about favorite movie. Okay, I got like 5 comments and they're pretty long, so I'm just gonna blast through these. Number one, this is a fine movie. I can't believe it's so underrated. So many layers of ethical concerns, so many contradictory codes, so many emotions. This movie is really deep. I still remember the way Goat said, I took his name in vain. Next comment. Just saw it again after so many years, and it's still an absolute blast. Don't get all the hate. It's a really satisfying movie for those who like tension, spooky dark hallways, monsters, alien movies, etc. Next comment. The best action horror film of the early 2000s. For once, Rock isn't the hero, and Carl Urban is Witch. Is superb. That was awkward. And of course, the shootouts with the mutants. Next comment. Enjoyed it. Fast moving with a not uninteresting story. Quite a creepy setting, too. Don't know anything about the video game it was based on, so can't say anything about that, but it was entertaining as far as it went. The music was effective, and the bit of a twist towards the end was something I genuinely didn't expect. And then the last comment Dwayne Johnson, Carl Urban, Rosamund Pike. Wow. In 2021, this would be considered a very good cast after what they've all gone on to achieve since this film. Parentheses, Gone Girl, The Boys, Jumanji, and much, much more. I haven't actually seen this movie since 2005, and I'm trying to do a rewatch, but no streaming services seem to carry it. Might just have to rent and see if it's as bad in a good way as I remember.
Oh,
There we go.
Yes, but it's just bad,
Yeah.
not in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how it stacks up against its competition in test number one, the worst of its kind.
Cool.
I think you might have a really big load of grumpy, petrified poop up your soul's ass.
which is the worst of its kind.
Blade 2 with Wesley Snipes, a 57.
I have a
I
feeling we gotta watch some Blade. I like the first Blade. I haven't seen the other ones, but I have a
if
feeling
if we're
that-
gonna do a Blade, it's got to be Trinity. That's the one
Okay.
with the wrestler Triple H.
Oh,
Alright.
It's
no.
very bad.
Yeah, I've only heard people say the first one's great, and after that, like, they're not worth mentioning.
The first one's not even great. It's good, and I'm probably remembering it fondly because I grew up with it. It's probably not even as like all right as I think it is, but the third one I saw once, and I'm not sure that I finished it because it's that bad.
Alright.
Dawn of the Dead, Ken Foree, a 93. That's a big one.
Wait, what? Is that the remake or the
No, it's the original. I just picked.
Okay.
Okay.
I liked both Dawn of the Deads. I think they both hold up pretty
The
well.
original was good. The remake was good practical effects, bad everything else.
Yeah. It was. I thought of it as like fun, campy lip service to the original with like updated graphics. So
I have the
I had fun
original.
with
The original had much better writing,
it. It did. Sure.
but it was longer.
Yeah.
That is a downside. Bubba Hotep. We were just talking about this last week, I think.
Oh my god.
Bruce Campbell, a 79.
That's such a good fucking movie, dude.
It's fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett. I see why this one's here, but it's not a heavy hitter. That's a 51.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not right. And then Starship Troopers with Casper Van Dien, a 70. Everybody likes that movie, though, I think.
I haven't seen it as an adult, but I remember liking it. But I hear it's like really good satire. That was probably over my head when I first saw it when I was like a little kid.
I saw it as an adult, and the satire wasn't enough for me to like it. I didn't like it. I'd give it way less than 70.
Fair enough. A 70, though, is our average for all those movies. How about Doom?
I know what it got, so I'm gonna pass it over to Bob because I have
Okay, I
researched
don't.
the score.
So I'm gonna go because The Rock's in it and Rosamund Pike's in it. I'm gonna go 40.
18.
18.
Oh shit! I was way
A
off.
clean negative 52 and worst of its kind. Bad score. We'll see how it stacks up against our current season champion later in the episode. For now, we will do some more summarizing in test number 2 in Ain't That a Pitch. Test number 2.
Oh, hi, Mark. This is the beginning of a scene. We talk about the movie, make the movie about the movie. In this case, The Room.
Ain't that a bitch? Oh, man. I just love Tommy
I'll go
Wiseau.
first. Yeah.
Go for it.
Who's up?
Rob is up, but
Rob is
He's
frozen.
bad, but he's the
There it is.
protagonist till the third
no.
act. Did it cut out?
yeah,
Yes.
start over.
All right. Mars once had a forbidden zone, infected by mutants with extra chromosomes. Dwayne Johnson played a character who's bad, but he's the protagonist till the third act. Thank God they resolved this quickly and went home.
Okay,
Nice.
I'm
I'll
gonna
go
go
second.
next only,
Okay,
only
go
because we both rhymed chromosome.
Okay.
Ah,
All right. There once was a 24th chromosome and a couple of soldiers with broken homes. And I can't tell if they're zombies or mutants. This movie could have used some improvements. I've seen better acting from the kid in Home Alone.
all right. Some Martian mutant human creatures are sneaky, but some mutant Martian human creatures are cheeky. Some want to beat you, and some want to eat you. Some use those flying tongues to get freaky.
All right, Chris, 4.5. I was kidding.
Flying tongues. All right, I'll give Chris a 4.
All right, sweet. I'll give me a 4.5 also. So what is that? So what does that give us? A 4.33?
3, yeah.
Yeah,
Sweet. Nice job, Chris.
something like that.
Killing it lately. All right, test number 3, the most offensive.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys want to talk about all the offensive parts that we witnessed in this movie?
In a few minutes, bitch.
I don't know if this is the most offensive movie I've ever seen, but we do have 2 clips.
Okay.
Why don't we start with number 1? This one is called Tequila.
Sounds good.
Oh, yes.
Where you going, Porkman?
I'm going down to El Honto. I'm gonna lock myself in a motel room with a bottle of tequila and 3 she-boys.
You sick, man.
You know what? You might think this is the wrong kind of offensive. I'm thinking it's offensive because we're supposed to dislike Portman more. I don't care where he locks himself in what room, as long as those she-boys are consenting to the tequila madness, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool with me. More to say on Portman, in my opinion, later. Poorly portrayed guy that we're supposed to like. Anyway, I'm dipping into the catch-all. Number 2, bitching out the boy by calling him a pussy in front of the platoon.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, this was Portman, and it was in poor taste.
Yes.
He's like, I asked the captain for some more pussy, and then like 2 days later, you showed up.
They did that boy wrong the whole movie.
I agree. Number 3, sending sister to subdue psycho scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here. We got
cool.
you. Sorry. Yeah. So I think her name was Sam.
Yeah.
Is going to the guy who was running the experimental program on Mars. Is obviously distraught, and we find out later what's going on with him, but we don't know at the time. And we've got all these big tough dudes with these fucking guns and shit, and she's the one that's approaching him to like calm him down.
Yeah.
There's like an outbreak happening, and you're sending the only person that isn't armed to try to soothe the demon to be.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked up. Number 4, doing drugs while dealing with demons. Not a time I'd be altering my perception.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give him credit for that one because that's a pretty unprecedented situation that you're in, and
Yeah.
Fair.
Fair.
I'm not sure I'd be doing the same thing, but I can understand.
I can understand wanting to. And you know what, to be fair, I don't know what the drug does. It just seems like, for me, if I'm going to be doing any drugs, and this includes alcohol, obviously that's the big one, I don't want to be in a high stress situation because the drug's just going to make me want to die.
Right.
Fair.
Personally.
True.
Number 5, religiously motivated masochism.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought that this was a thing of the past.
The self-flagellating.
Yeah, apparently it's a thing of the future as well.
Yep.
Number 6, violent ventilation monkey murder. The fuck, guys? Poor little monkeys up in the ventilation shaft, which is fine. That's not even a violation of pipe logic, in my opinion. A monkey can crawl around up there.
Yeah, exactly.
But not a giant demon, and they just shoot into it and find out, ask questions later, and it turns out it was just an innocent little monkey that we just shot into a million pieces.
Yep.
It wasn't innocent though. They covered their tracks, which I hate because it should have been an innocent monkey. When Dwayne caught the monkey's blood, it was full of that thick black.
Oh,
shit
that's
that we
right.
call
Yeah,
all
he
the
called it on
demons
stream.
had,
Yeah,
which
good point.
It pissed me off because I'm like, the monkey didn't look menacing, but apparently it
No.
was.
No, it didn't. And that would have been better. It would have been like a little hint into the Rock's. What was it? Sarge was his character's name.
Yeah.
Because he's the sergeant, which is creative naming. Yeah, but it would have been cool if you got like a little glimpse into how menacing he can be, because he just doesn't care about the innocent monkey. All right, let's throw it to our second clip of the most offensive, and this one is called Search.
Team, nobody goes anywhere.
Ladies, we're under a level 5 quarantine, so I am just gonna have to strip search you girls.
I don't think so.
Hold that thought. We're under a level 5 quarantine, so I am just gonna have to strip.
Sergeant, this is Dr. Samantha Grimm, the UAC science officer assigned to retrieve data from the lab.
Sergeant.
You know what just occurred to me? Has nothing to do with the clip, really, is that her name is Samantha Grimm. And the whole movie I was wondering why the nicknames, and it turns out that Reaper's nickname is probably Reaper because his last name is Grimm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She mentions that at one point.
Oh, she does.
Do you
She
know?
does.
Do you know who the character? Actually, this might be a fact or no fact. So I'm gonna wait on this. Actually.
Okay.
Reaper's name in the video game is different than what it is. So I'm just
None of my fact or no fact have to do with the video game.
Okay, so Reaper's name in the video game, he didn't have a name. They just called him Doom Guy. And if you go to the Wikipedia page, if you look at the cast, it's like Reaper. It's like Grimm quotes Reaper / Doom Guy.
Oh, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
That makes sense for video games of the time, though. They didn't have character names, except for Mario.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Because they want you to be him or her. They want you to put yourself into that character.
Right.
Well, I have 3 more, but I want to throw in an honorable mention that I should have.
Okay.
Because I was even thinking about clipping it. It's when Mac approaches Pinky, and he's like, "Funny, you don't look like a Mac because he's Asian."
Yeah.
And then I don't remember his name, but it's a 3-name long name that's like Japanese sounding, and the joke is he shouldn't be named Mac, or like the joke is I guess that they just went with Mac because they didn't want to have to memorize his name.
Yeah.
Number 8, Makeshift dissection of Martian demons. We kind of did this one for Mac and me. Funny enough, just talking about Mac.
Yep.
But like if you're gonna cut open the whatever the thing, the mutant thing, and dissect it, if you're gonna do that, you should probably be wearing more protective gear. You should probably not be doing it with other people in the room, or at least with other scientists in protective gear in a quarantined situation, not just like on the table or with everyone around.
He did it way more thoroughly and iconically and brilliantly in Independence Day, one of Bob's favorite movies.
Oh,
yes.
God, I'm putting that on the list. Anyway, you know what? So this movie supposedly took place in 2026, I think it was, or 20.
Yeah,
it was something in the future. So you'd think they'd have heard of the movie Alien by then and would have protected their faces more, like Chris said. Like when opening up an Alien, like you wouldn't just have your face exposed.
You would never. Like any scientist worth their salt would know not to do that, and she's apparently super smart.
Exactly.
Number 9, human trials trope.
Yeah.
That's how you make the bad guys really bad. You know, we weren't supposed to do human trials, but we did them anyway, and now we're reaping the benefits of having done that.
Yeah.
And the last one I have is number 10, Reaper's vague, violent report card. He says, "I've done bad things," and this is the moment where you know, because he's the main character, that he's not going to turn into a demon thing. Yeah. But they want to give you just a touch of suspense by saying that he's done bad things before, because evil people turn into evil things when they get a 24th fucking chromosome shot into their arm.
Yep.
Hell, they got me. I honestly thought I wasn't sure what was going to happen. They totally got me.
All right.
They got you.
Well, a vote in favor, I guess. You guys want to mention anything?
No. Just how the only thing it really shared with the video game was its title. And
that is offensive.
I played quite a bit of Doom. I played Doom 2 Hell on Earth a lot more because that was just like the new one when I was a kid. And like that was a fun fucking game. And
the first one I played.
And there's Pinky in the video game, but like he had it was just like some guy's head like on a wheelchair that you found. And they gave him like a whole backstory. It was weird. That bothered me. So
yeah, I remember I played the first Doom, and I don't remember, my aunt had this system, and it was weird. It was like a keyboard that plugged into the TV, but the TV was like, it was like I/O or something. I don't remember, but anyway, it also had a few video games like programmed into the TV, so I was able to play with like the keyboard pad, the original Doom.
Cool.
And it was fucking awesome. I loved that game. It was so much fun.
Yeah. That was a great game.
All right. Speaking of Pinky, let's throw it to test number 4, the worst dialogue, please.
Do you like what you see? Would you like to touch what you see? Would you like to go out with me? Would you like to fuck me?
Just the worst dialogue.
Yeah.
Never get over it. I said speaking of Pinky because that is the title of our number.
Countdown tab. I'm fucking up tonight. Number
5. Pinky.
Why we gotta come all this way? Why can't UAC rent a cops take care of this bullshit?
Is it always that rough? Believe me, it used to be a lot rougher. There was a time when our travel was susceptible to, let's say, major turbulence.
What does he mean?
He means he went to one galaxy, his ass went to another.
Call it a scientific miscalculation. Unbelievable as it may seem, UAC does make the odd, tiny mistake. Marcus Penzorowski, you call me Pinky. Follow me.
You can call me Pinky.
So were those legs that came out of the sky a flashback, or they just come through then? I couldn't.
That is exactly that is the number one reason that I clipped that, because that really fucking bugged me. Was it by? Yeah, what was it by? Like some backwards miracle, some like horrifying coincidence that his legs happened to pop out right at that moment? Because it seemed like they were going for the comedic timing there, but it doesn't make any sense to me unless it's a flashback. But they didn't do anything to demonstrate that.
Yeah, I saw that as in my mind, it was like a jump cut, just showing what the fate of his legs were, and it didn't actually happen in real time. But they didn't explain it.
No, it wasn't.
No, not at all.
So fuck them.
Yeah, agreed. All right. I mean, the whole like turbulence thing too, like that. I guess it's kind of junk science-y, which there's plenty of that to be had in this episode, so I won't lay into it too much. But let's throw it through number 4. This one is Big Thing. Oh, no.
Yarg!
Just got it in there. Big Thing.
So, you know, I keep losing my picture, but I'm hearing the audio, so if you guys think you're losing me, I'm still here.
Okay, cool.
No, I see you.
Sensitive.
Well, I knew Reaper before all the drop-down Gimme 50 woo-ha stuff.
Yeah? Well, it's hua.
Hua.
Yeah.
Do you have a family?
I had Destroyer. You know, we grew up together.
You know, Duke, I bet secretly you have a big heart.
Oh, yeah? And that's not the only secret big thing I got.
A little rusty, huh?
Oh, lady, you have no idea. Right now, having sex with me is practically a civic duty.
Ugh. I need a power bone saw.
A power bone saw? Girl, I've been waiting on you my whole life.
There's one in the procedure room, down the corridor on the left, through the nanowall.
Through the nanowall? Hey, I got it. It's cool. For you, I got it. Because you're pretty.
Cool.
I wouldn't do it for a dude, you know.
Off you go.
That was Samurai Cop almost.
Yeah.
Super
Honestly,
dumb.
I should have mentioned that for most offensive, because that was pretty offensive.
It really was. Just like kind of out of nowhere, he's like, "You should fuck me because I'm a soldier."
Like the most clumsy and out of place pickup line for the future, especially.
Yeah.
That's not the only secret big thing that I've got. And then she's like, "I need a power bone saw." He's like, "Oh, you're talking my language."
So stupid.
It's really fucking dumb. Maybe that should have been higher. Let's see with number 3. Evil 2.
Lucy had the 24th chromosome, but she wasn't a monster. She died protecting her child, not devouring it. Why did the same chromosome that made her superhuman turn Stahl into a monster?
Let's go!
Just give me a minute.
We don't have a minute!
Then give me 10 seconds. This is its tongue. This is brain matter from Portman. This is from Destroyer. It's choosing, John. It's choosing who to infect.
Choosing, Lara. How's it choosing?
There are genetic markers for psychotic and violent behavior. It could be a specific neurotransmitter it's picking up on. A ganglion, latching onto numbers in the DNA code linked...
Linked to what? Evil?
10% of the human genome is still unmapped. Some say it's the genetic blueprint for the soul.
This is something that you, Chris, very famously refer to as junk science.
Junk science.
I fucking hated all of that. And they had to desecrate the Lucy findings, which is more to talk about in the catch-all. So I'll leave that alone for now. But it's not to bring that in is just so. Lucy was superhuman, according to this movie. What the fuck are you talking about? And then it selects for people with violent natures. Why? It's going to turn them into a fucking like 9-foot crazy ripped demon mutant thing anyway. So what does it matter? I just didn't understand any of that. And they hit it in the back with that music that's like once they say it chooses who. Yeah, like it's supposed to be some big revelation, and we're supposed to be like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. It chooses it finds evil in the human genome. We don't even know what 10% of us is. Holy shit, and it's not that at all. It's just like God, fucking slamming my head into the. I'm doing what Goat or whatever the religious guy did when he realized he was turning into a zombie. I was doing that to my wall. I was fucking slamming my head into it at that point. Yeah. All right, number. Superhuman.
She's got 24 pairs of chromosomes.
Humans only have 23.
But what does the extra pair do?
Makes her superhuman. The extra pair makes her super strong, super fit, super intelligent. Her cells divide 50 times faster, meaning she heals almost instantly. The fossil record indicates these people had conquered disease. We found no genetic disorders, no viruses, no cancers.
So what? They were just naturally superior?
No, not naturally. See, the earliest remains we found only had 23. We suspect this extra chromosome may be synthetic.
Bioengineered.
It's a long word for a Marine. Does it ever bother you? You could have spent your life looking in a microscope instead of a sniperscope.
They were so smart. How come they're so dead?
We don't know. Maybe they just went with time.
You don't shield a baby from time.
So fucking bad, man. It's just a continuity.
Thanks for asking.
Lucy was super. Thanks for asking. Her cells divide 50 times faster or whatever, so she super heals and she's like super strong and all that stupid fucking bullshit. Bioengineered, big word. I mean, just I'm sorry. Listen to it back if you want to hear what I hated about it, because I groaned after every line.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. After you give me the number and the drum roll, we'll throw it to our next clip.
One, Daddy. You know what? Fuck it.
All right, nice short one, but this one really fucking bothered me. It's called Hooah.
Semper Fi, motherfucker.
What is that? I mean, what was that supposed to do?
Who knows?
You know what? To be honest, I don't remember what Semper Fi even means. So, thought it was like a brotherhood thing that you say when you're in the military. You know,
it's Marines only. It's Semper Fidelis. I think it means honor before all things, or something like that.
So that's his big like break it down line. Bust through the glass. He's gonna kick your ass. He's like honor before or whatever. Like
there's a great Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns is reunited with his long lost son Larry, who's portrayed by Rodney Dangerfield, and he goes to like this banquet and he makes fun of all like these wealthy titans of industry, and the guy's complaining about Mr. Burns' son, saying like he poked fun of my weight and said my ranking should have been Semper Fudge.
So, the actual Rodney Dangerfield is voiced on The Simpsons?
It was one guest spot in like season.
Oh my god, I gotta find it because I love that guy.
Episode.
He's so funny.
I can't stand looking at him.
I love
and the problem is that if I hear him, I think about his face, and I don't want to.
Yeah, he's got that Maggie Gyllenhaal look.
He really does. It's like if you took a rock that was like half the size of a human skull, and then you ripped Rodney Dangerfield's face off and just floated it over that half-size rock. It would Anyway, Rob, your ad read, please.
Sure.
Hi, kids. It's me, Ronald McDonald, and I'm on the set of my very first motion picture ever. It's a movie called Mac and Me, and it stars my little friend from outer space here. His name is Mac, and I want to introduce you to him. Mac?
Rob's ad read.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by somehow spending $300 every single time you go to the store for a couple of things. It's 2023, our money's on fire, our drinking water is probably slowly poisoning us, and even people during the Great Depression were making the equivalent of what would be $80,000 a year today. So head on down to aisle 8, lean over the end cap display of Diet Squirt, and take one for the team as you watch your entire direct deposit slowly take the form of paper towels and hot dogs that used to cost $3 a pack during the before times, but somehow now cost $50. Give up, we're already dead. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rob. Somehow spending $300 every time you go shopping. We appreciate you hopping on board. We hope you stick with us. Bob, it's your turn with test number 5, the worst production.
The Worst Movie Ever Made presents the worst production.
You can't even draw stick figures. Your cartoons aren't even funny enough to be on the Family Channel. You stink.
Hey guys, just came by to pick up the finished film.
Hooray.
Rob's ad read and that clip made me sad. I don't want to go on, but I will. All right. All right. So the worst production this week is casting The Rock.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
You know what that means. So I'm going to be honest. The casting of the other leads wasn't all that bad. Like especially the two main protagonists, the Sam and Reaper. I thought they were okay.
Yeah,
but the
Carl
Rock
Urban's
really, The Rock really sucked in the acting department, and he had too much of the movie on his shoulders, which he couldn't carry. And much like Rob said last week of No Holds Barred, the movie accomplished what it set out to do. I mean, honestly, it did. I thought that after my first watch.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't make it a good movie. Just like a completion of a project, of sorts.
Fair.
But
yes.
The Rock just he's not an actor. He just isn't an actor. He's a wrestler, and wrestlers are actors from afar, meaning like you're watching The Ring and they look like they're acting well in terms of like hitting each other and flipping each other. But you put a close-up camera on them and you see through the illusion, and that's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
That is probably how he got an acting career. He was one of the better like on the mic guys because his improvisation was good. That doesn't mean that his acting was good. It just meant that he said funny things sometimes.
Yeah. And it's he's an A-type personality. Like I think there's no denying that. Like I think he could show up and get shit done, and that's a value to the studio because
yes.
No matter how bad he is on the acting front, he shows up prepared and just like does his thing, and they can expect him to consistently and reliably do that thing.
He's the Sarge.
Yeah.
But while we're on the subject of him and his acting, let's throw it to test number 6, the worst acting.
Not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Just the worst acting.
God, that gets me every time. Number 1, shit shot.
You lost your folks, right?
Shut up.
Small world. I mean, I lost my parents too. Yeah, I mean, I woke up one morning and everything was gone. I mean, the only thing left was me. They wanted the TV more than they wanted me.
Every time you open your mouth, you give away our position. Wait a minute. Your pupils are dilated. Are you high?
What? No, I got this condition.
I don't give a damn. You take one more shot of that shit and I'll blow holes in you. Are we clear?
Okay. Look, I just needed a little... Get down!
Yeah.
All right, which one was worst acting? Because I can't figure it out.
Well, I think the
Please say
kid.
both.
Yeah, I think the kid acting high isn't so good, and then it's more about the line delivery, and it's probably because the line. He's like, if you shoot one more shot of that shit, I'm gonna pump you full of bullets or something like that. But you can hardly make out what he was saying, and they probably took 6 takes of it, and it just doesn't work, just ever. So they just go with it.
Not at all.
But yeah, I also don't think that I want to call him Keith Urban now. Funny enough.
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. I think he's good. I mean, he is pretty good in this movie. But the kid when he started the whole scene, I was wondering if he was also going for a southern accent there.
That seems to be a through line on most bad movies, like the inconsistency of their like regional dialect, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't make it out, but I don't think the kid was that great. So anyway, here come the next two. Bob, you want some bad acting? I'll give you some bad acting. Here's number 2. Already Dead.
What the hell is this? And whose goddamn blood is on that window?
Goats. He killed himself.
What do you mean he killed himself? He was already dead.
It's true. It's goat. He was changing into one of these motherfuckers and he killed himself.
We found 2 more scientists at the dig. Thurman and a balding guy with glasses.
Dr. Clay. Did you check their necks? Were there open wounds on their necks?
We were conducting a firefight, not an autopsy.
We came up here to find 6 scientists. 4 are known dead, and Dr. Willits is probably KIA somewhere down in that sewer. The only one missing is Dr. Carmack. Has Dr. Carmack showed up yet?
Oh, he's shown up all right.
Look at the left ear.
Son of a bitch.
I think this other one is...
Yeah, the Rock is bad. But to be fair, I think everybody was bad in that scene, literally.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable.
When Duke is like, he was already dead, man, and I know, but he stood up and he was like, turning into one of these motherfuckers. And he, like, all of a sudden, it's just super uncomfortable. All right, number...
Sorry, I lost connection again.
You're good, dude. It throws the screen at a really funny moment. You were like mid-laugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a field day with the edits on this one, I think. Because Storms, the Nashville Storms, at number
3. Mutiny.
Mutinous insurrection. It's punishable by death. It was his first mission! And it's not going to be my last. I need soldiers. I don't need anybody else but soldiers.
He was a soldier. Silence.
It's for the YouTube audience at www.theworstmovieevermade.com.
Drop the weapons! I mean it! Have no intention of being killed by a madman. Drop the weapons! Oh, there's something behind me, isn't there?
Chris and I had a talk about whether or not to cut the dead air out from that clip, and I felt like it belonged there because the made it adds the effect. So.
All right. Well, I will. If I listen to this episode with anybody, I'll just hold up the just give it a minute finger.
Oh, you know, like the creepy violin, like the tightly wound violin.
Yeah.
you know.
Like The Conjuring. Yeah, it does so well. But yeah, The Rock just doesn't have a good scream.
No.
It actually, I mean, he was bad anyway, but he's like, I need soldiers. I don't need anybody else but soldiers. And it's just not. It's supposed to be a scream, but it doesn't sound like that. It just sounds like he's raising his voice a little bit. But yeah, there you go, Bob. Two clips of The Rock doing what he didn't do well in this movie, and that is it.
You go.
All right, let's give it back to Bob with fact or no fact.
Fact or no fact?
Money now and a lot more when I get in that office. I can take that to the bank.
I'll take you to the bank. I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
That scene never gets old because he's talking to a blank TV.
Was that your story today, Rob? Okay.
Yeah, no, because I was thinking I was doing something for the show, and I was like, I listened to that bumper, and I was like, I gotta rewatch that clip, and I ended up snipping it and putting it on my story because like he's sitting in a room next to an empty TV, going, "I'll take you to the bank, Senator Trent."
It's so awesome.
And of course, one of you put up a Seagal movie for the poll, and I'm like, oh, I gotta vote for that.
I
voted for it.
Then I thought if we had forethought, we would have made a whole Seagal season because they're all bad.
Oh my god!
You can call it Season Seagal. Yeah, I like it.
That would have been like we would have like numbed our senses after that one.
Yeah.
All right.
We should be doing one per season though.
True.
It probably should. The movie is Doom with 2 O's, and I called this fact or no fact Dumb with 2 U's.
Okay.
So we're looking for the fact out of 4 lies and a fact. So let's see. Chris is on a roll.
I am.
Yeah.
And Rob is on a hiatus.
I never win this bit.
We're almost.
I'm on a roll of losses.
Yeah, Bob. We're only an episode or 2 away until you start accusing me of cheating again.
Yes.
How soon I forget. Okay. The first one. The 5-minute first person scene near the end was done with 0 CGI. That was like the one that looked like the game.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, the second one. Vin Diesel was offered the lead of the Grim Reaper, but declined. Okay, third one. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, was also offered the lead role of the Reaper, but chose the role of Sarge because he thought it was more interesting. Okay, fourth one. Of the main cast, The Rock is the only American-born actor. And the last one, Mac, as you mentioned earlier, the Asian character, was the only soldier to die without firing a single shot.
So I know some facts about this from researching, but luckily it's not the one. The thing I'm going to rule out is something I didn't research, but I assume it to be true just based on a lyric from a Tech 9 song that Dwayne Johnson raps on. So, the first person scene, I know that scene took like 14 days or something to shoot. Whether or not there was CGI, I don't know, but I'm going to say there probably was, because the CGI in the movie was pretty damn good, regardless of its faults. So why wouldn't they not utilize it if they had it in their in their bag of tricks, you know?
True.
Vin Diesel's believable because this is like 2005, so he was doing like Pitch Black and like Riddick and that kind of stuff right around that time. So could have just been like a scheduling conflict. I believe that. I know Dwayne Johnson was offered the lead role, but he wanted to be Sarge because it was darker or something like that. I believe that to be true. Only American Mac was. I don't remember if Mac shot anything or not. But I'm gonna call bullshit on Rock as the only American-born actor because in that song, he goes "Black and Samoan in my veins. I'm going to bring all the pain" or something like that. So I think he's Samoan. just based on that lyric. So I'm gonna say the lie is he's not American born because he's got.
Wait, are we going?
We're
There's
going
one
the lie,
fact.
right? We're doing one fact or one lie.
No, one lie.
Oh, okay.
So I think I don't think he's American born because I think he's proud of being Samoan. So I'm gonna go with that.
Did I
changes
introduce
everything.
Did I introduce it wrong? Did I say the wrong thing?
No, probably not.
Oh.
I'm just off my game today, man. If I can find this one lie, man, something. First person, 0 CGI just feels like a lie because there's like monsters and stuff. There's no way that they were looking for one lie. 0 CGI seems like a lie to me. I believe that The Rock chose Sarge. I believe that he might have been born outside of America. I don't know, man.
I'm just to maybe make it easier for you. I think I said that there was no CGI. That was a lie. I'm just saying, just to assist you in your dynasty. That's probably what I should have chosen.
I know. I really feel like there was CGI, but I also feel like Portman didn't fire his gun either when he was in the bathroom, like because he was like looking at a rat or something, and then he got grabbed from above, and maybe his gun fired, but that's not him like firing shots. So but he probably did fire shit. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go number one because maybe Portman like was shooting in the dark hallways or whatever.
I was thinking about finding a fact, and then I messed up as well, Chris. So I think you were right to pick the CGI one. But I also think that why would Dwayne rap about being Samoan if he wasn't like born on Samoan soil?
Yeah,
because people celebrate their heritage, Rob. Don't you know these things?
Yeah, my last name's Scucci, and I hate Italians, so I got you.
we famously hate Italians.
I just made that connection right now. Oh my god! All right, I'm gonna go in order because that's the way to go. Chris, you won again, and Rob, I'm gonna call this a Rob and Chris win. Because Rob, you did say that at the very beginning.
I know, but I was thinking the opposite because we did it for so. I had a Freudian slip, so sorry.
Even the reflection of his own face. Remember he looked in like some kind of mirror-ish type thing, and he saw his own face. Even that was CGI.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A good bit of it was CGI. I want to say it was about 20%, maybe 30% was CGI.
Yeah, I just couldn't imagine that those monsters were in CGI. They didn't look practical at all. But
some were. Some of them were.
Really?
I want to say the only one that was like purely CGI was Pinky.
Yeah, that looked like shit.
The rest of them were pretty much practical.
Wow. That's awesome.
So yeah, let's just run through it. Vin Diesel offered the role, turned it down. Dwayne Johnson, yes, he wanted something. He's more interesting is the quote, but I think, like you said, Rob, darker.
Yeah.
The Rock was the only American-born actor, which goes back to one of your points about the one actor whose accent kept slipping.
Yeah, true.
Matter of fact, there was a couple. Sam's accent slipped a few times as well. She's English. And apparently she couldn't say the word corridor without going back to English accent.
Corridor.
Yeah.
And Mac never fired a single shot.
Well, how about that?
What's his name? Definitely did. Rockwell? No, what's
yeah.
his name?
The guy who played Portman.
Portman, that's his name.
Yeah.
He definitely fired shots earlier on. I forget what the scene was, but he did.
That's why I ended up going with number one, because then I realized that it could mean not necessarily like as he's dying, like trying to put up a fight, but that he shot
just in general,
the movie.
Yeah.
And
Mac never fired anything because Asians are passive.
Shit, that's probably exactly why. That's unfortunate. But anyway, the real big news, the big highlight here is that Chris got a third win. Yeah. And I don't know what I should get for that, but I should get something for it. I mean, not just. I mean, I had the bragging rights the last couple weeks, but I'm getting a little bored of bragging about how good I am at this.
Well, you can hold off on the bragging because Chris and Rob won. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm the one with the outline. I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Fair.
All right. The
Very happy for
catch-all.
you, though. Very happy.
Thank you. Me too.
Time to have a little bit of fun with the catch-all. We're going to get our little nets. We're going to prance around like SpongeBob catching the jellyfish. And we're going to catch every darn little thing that we want to. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Standard scientists are murdered for immoral research opening.
Yep.
Happens a lot. Rock opens with no shirt.
And a Semper
he
Fi
does.
tattoo.
Yeah.
It was just slightly his outburst later.
Yeah. Read my back, motherfucker. Very Predator-like start to the movie.
Yeah.
Complete with the album cover trope. Where all of them are standing like in a line, but next to each other, and then like Sarge is in the front, like The Rock is the one leading.
Yeah, of course.
You know, super lame. The 6-hour quarantine is standard there on the Ark or something. I don't know why 6 hours. 6 hours seems like nothing.
Yeah. I guess because like the extra chromosome's so fast, like it's 6 hours or something.
Yeah, maybe. The Rock delegates well, but he's no Tommy Lee Jones. Let's be honest.
True.
He is
Tommy Lee Jones is the master delegator, and I think
He is.
that should go on his grave. Like he's really good at loudly asserting what other people should be doing with their time.
Master Delegator sounds like a good AOL screen name.
Yeah.
Caged animals for maximum bad guy effect. Bad scientist.
Yeah.
Reaper and his sister together seems like a really bad idea. It's just bad call to have them together, like as one of the units.
It does. Yeah.
BFG apparently stands for Bioforce Gun. What's Bioforce?
It was
Sounds
always
like-
it was always big fucking gun in the Doom manuals.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
I thought.
much better.
That's what I thought.
But Bioforce sounds like a new department of the American military or something.
Yeah, with Pauly Shore involved somehow.
Yeah, right. Good movie, real good movie. That's one we should definitely revisit.
I would love to.
It's not even.
Which
It's not even
one?
like
Biodome.
What's that?
With,
Yeah.
Biodome with Pauly Shore and one of the not fully mentally
Baldwins.
developed Baldwins. Yeah. Steven or Billy or Brandon or one of the Baldwins.
Yeah.
I mentioned this before, but the Lucy skeleton is not complete as shown in the movie. I don't even think it's half complete. But the one they show in the movie is like thinking, or like it's like covering its daughter or whatever, and that's not at all what it looks like.
I think they just shared a name to make it look more like in touch with history.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
to make it give it more credibility or whatever. It's totally normal that there's a beautiful naked woman alone in this dark room hovering over other dead bodies.
That was really strange.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that. My lucky day.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, beautiful woman.
You know what? though?
Duke.
We've
Maybe
watched so
scientists
many-
of the future are more good looking because
Yeah.
I know a few scientists and wouldn't want to see
We've
them naked.
watched so many bad movies up to this point, where there's like our 104th episode or something. Or
Yeah.
so that's 2
Something.
years. We've been doing this for 2 years now, and
Jesus.
I didn't even realize that was weird until you mentioned it just now. Because like my brain's been so fucking scrambled by this show.
Well, this movie is an experimental movie podcast. It's
Yeah.
the real experiment is like how damaged is it going to make us by the time we find the worst movie ever made. Duke says, "Nah, I don't do no nano walls." And Sam says, "Yes, you do." And Duke says something like, "Oh, all right." It just goes through it. No questions asked. All right, I guess I do. And Bob, to your credit, I wrote female scientists are apparently all hot.
Yeah.
To go back to your previous line, though, apparently that guy will go through the arc and travel like through time and space. But he won't
But he
go
won't
through
do
a
the
nano
nano
wall.
wall.
He won't go from like the living room to the fucking kitchen because it's like too spooky.
Yeah. But they really love those nano walls, didn't they? They showed that like over and over again. We get the
that was
idea.
overused.
It's kind of cool, but yeah. One of the soldiers' names is Destroyer.
Yeah.
That's just so bad. What is this? Over the top?
Smasher.
Smasher.
I'm Smasher.
You Hawk. I'm Destroyer. Hey guys, we got main junction pipes that are pipe logic overload. Pipe logic overload this week. I mean, good God.
Yeah.
Character development for Reaper and maybe Sam, and then just a touch for Duke, but that's it.
That's it.
No one else gets developed. Someone said I can't see anything at one point, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
because I couldn't see what was happening in half of this movie.
That was almost my worst production. Was too dark. That was almost the worst production.
It really was.
The weird thing is that's really popular these days too. Like, there's been a lot of criticism for like movies that are just like shot way too fucking dark. Like the new Little Mermaid, I saw that recently, and it's like couldn't see half the shit on the screen.
Yeah, it's so true. Here's a trope for you that I've noticed. When you're resuscitating someone, you call them a son of a bitch every time.
Wake up, you son of a bitch!
Come on, breathe, you son of a bitch.
They're poor mothers.
Yeah, right. Seriously, we're gonna need something with a little more kick. The Rock's character says as he goes to get the Bioforce gun.
Yeah.
The detachable tongues are a little too aliens for me. You know that it's kind of like the little mouth that comes out.
Yep.
Hey, religious zombie. Didn't think I'd see that.
Yeah.
Here's another trope for you: stolen hand identity theft trope.
Stolen hand, yeah, with the access.
Yes.
Yeah. Advanced weapons is the name of where the Rock gets into with that stolen hand, and there's one gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should have been advanced weapon. You can't move muscles that are being electrocuted, Destroyer. I don't care how strong you are. It's not a thing. He's like being electrocuted. He's up against a wall and he's like comes down with like a hammer fist or something onto the alien. Yeah. It's like you can't do that.
Both the mutant and him.
Yeah, they both are
do as much as they did.
No, absolutely not.
Once he pinned him against that electric thing, he should have been dead.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, but in both ways. But unfortunately, Destroyer was destroyed. Yeah. And I agree with Portman too often. That's what I was like saying before, but I don't feel like he deserved what he got based on the bad guy that they tried to make him out to be. Yeah. Like when he's like, we need to call for backup, and Sarge is like, we are the backup. It's like, why don't you just call for backup though?
Yeah.
You know, would it be bad to have another 30 of you?
Worst they could do is say no, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Portman's whole thing was the whole strip search. That was the
that was the bad one. And then of course he's the guy with the drugs too.
Yeah.
That's okay though.
Yeah. Who says no to drugs? This isn't Doom lore, I wrote, which we already talked about, so I'll keep skipping along.
Yeah.
Did you guys think it was funny that the giant demon thing comes out and attacks Pinky, and then he's like, "Why?" right out in the open with the other soldiers, and then he runs away after killing Pinky.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's finishing what he started, basically. He's like,
Gotcha. Terrible ricochet CGI effect.
Yes.
So when Reaper gets hit by the bullet, it seemed to be going like 40 miles an hour.
I'm so
pretty weird.
The CGI in this movie is like, it's really impressive in some aspects, and then like it's really terrible in others.
Yeah, but to back you up, the next thing I wrote is the first-person video game style, like scene was fun. I thought. Wish they did more of that, but apparently it took a long time to film. So How does
it was 14 days?
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. 2 weeks
like
for one scene.
Yeah, between 14 and 2-3 weeks.
That's crazy. How did Pinky morph into that thing that he morphed into? Because it was dissimilar.
Not
to
only
the other
that,
ones.
it was so immediate. Everyone else takes like
Yes.
hours upon days to morph into that much of a freak, and he turned into the biggest freak ever. Which also means he had a mean streak, right?
That's true.
Because
he must have,
and
it chose him.
He didn't seem to.
Maybe because he only has like a half flesh and blood body. He like, or he's already half not human. So like, there's only so much more to transform, right?
So all non-normies
compared to the normies.
Is that
but Bob, the next thing I wrote, check this out: no consistent and discernible rate of transformation. It's exactly what you're saying.
I'm going to jump on that right now and say, who was being transformed into a mutant, who was being transformed into a zombie, and who was just being killed? Because the zombies weren't the same. They were eating other people, and the other ones weren't doing that.
I didn't understand that at all.
It was really inconsistent.
What it was
very
for?
pissed off.
It was. I think it was so that you had different things to shoot at, like you do in the video game. Like if there was only one demon, then it wouldn't be like a video game where in Doom you have a bunch of different targets.
Well,
but I don't think like regular human zombies were one of them. I was waiting to see a fucking floating head come out that he had to shoot at.
The big red guy, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been fucking nice, but nope. The superhuman fight. What's that, Bob?
They fucked up. That's all I'm saying.
They really did. That's why this movie sucks. The superhuman fight at the end just was fucking garbage.
It was.
The choreography, the planning, just the room that they were in, everything about it just fucking sucked. And then Reaper lives, and so does Sam. And I'm thinking, like, all right, now that you two are the sole survivors, go ahead and explain that to the American government.
Yeah.
Right.
It was all like,
good luck with that.
And they were like,
and I was like, 24th chromosome.
Plus, is Reaper like never gonna get sick ever again? Is he gonna like survive?
Yeah.
Everything?
Yeah. Now he's a superhuman.
If it was actual success, I could see them like bringing him back to Earth to research the chromosome in a living subject. And if those things end up coming down to Earth, he's armed with the knowledge and the superior power. But because this movie was so terrible, they never got a sequel. Even though I think they just rebooted Doom the last couple.
There was a sequel. It just was straight to video.
Oh, was it straight to the bargain bin? Okay.
See, I do like the idea of Reaper, played by Carl Urban, going back to Mars. That is now Mars is overrun with those mutants, and he is a superhuman. And then they do a lot of that first person shooting stuff like that. That would not be bad. But you guys want to mention anything else?
Sounds like more of a game than a movie, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I love video games, so that's where my brain went. You guys want to mention anything? Or?
The one thing that bothered me, and I said at the top of the show, is the movie starts with Dwayne Johnson. It follows Dwayne Johnson. And like, I guess it's like a wrestling thing to like, turn heel, like at some point. But like I felt like Reaper had a very small role until like the third act, where he became the hero. It's like Sarge is the antagonist at the end of the day, and it wasn't like, I could, if there was like a clever twist where he's like, I've been working for them all along, or something, but it's just like, no, all of a sudden he's like, oh, we are the backup, let's kill fucking everybody. And like, I don't know, it just seemed lazy. It bothered me.
It was lazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think the idea of having the like the third main character become the main character at the end of the movie, I think that's kind of cool, but the way they did it was lazy. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it to your Magic Marvel corner, Rob.
I was up so late last night watching this shit. Here we go.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out! Here comes the Spider-Man.
Rob's Magic Movie Corner.
So, This is like my 11th or 12th Marvel movie. Avengers: Age of Ultron, 2015. What's the name of the big guy in Green Mile, Chris? Bob?
John Coffey. But
John-
what is his actor name? Michael Clark
No,
Duncan.
I think the character's name. So John Coffey.
Okay.
I feel like him right now. He's just like, I'm tired, boss. So I'll take your questions.
I'll go.
Okay.
Do you think that humans are going to destroy themselves, as Ultron predicts?
Like in general, or like in the Marvel canon?
No, I mean like in real life. Do you think we're all going to just kill ourselves accidentally, or on purpose?
I think we're just gonna slowly like entertain ourselves to death, like through like doom scrolling and like eating really bad and
No pun intended.
it's like the fall of the Roman Empire is like it's like everybody gets bread and they get to watch gladiators fight and like
Yeah.
they're just being placated while like the ruling elite class are just destroying everything. So I think we're pretty much there. But because most people get so much screen time, we're just not realizing it happening right now.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
All right, so back to a person that has never watched many Marvel movies.
Okay.
Would this movie have been better if it had been an 80s crossover, The Age of Voltron?
I'm not too. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not familiar with all the lore. But absolutely yes, because 80s shit like that is just fun. And this movie was a little too serious. I think they fucked up the comedic relief on this one compared to the other Marvel movies up to this point, where it just wasn't as fun as it could have been. They tried
The
shoehorning
villain
in jokes. Yeah,
the villain kind of was the comic relief too, which
Yeah.
sort of doesn't work as well. Although, well, number 2, how did this compare to the first Avengers movie? It sounds like you didn't like it as much.
like half. It's about half.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
It's probably true for me too.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Is it true that comic book cosplayers refer to their manhood as Loki's scepter?
I'm not up on like the whole like convention thing, but I find that easy to believe.
I
feel
made
like-
that up.
I mean, I think Thor's hammer.
Did you?
I think
I was-
Thor's hammer would be better.
Yeah, right.
I was reading about this movie and I'm like, Loki's scepter? That sounds sexual.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
Loki's scepter and Thor's hammer at the peeing trough, just having a sword fight.
Honey,
I would pick Thor's hammer over Loki's scepter.
Yeah.
honey, are you going to call forth my Mjolnir today? I don't even know if I said that right. All right, number 3. Are we going to make it through all of the Marvel movies before the disillusionment of this segment?
Yeah. No, I'm all in.
Okay, 'cause at this point, I'm not sure if you're.
I get to
if you're
watch
capable.
Ant-Man next week with Paul Rudd, and that's great because 20 movies later, I get to watch Ant-Man Quantumania.
Uh,
I haven't seen that, so maybe I'll watch it with you.
Yeah. Okay, last one. I think Scarlett Johansson is overrated, and I know that's not a question, so I'll ask you: do you agree?
She's Black Widow. Who's
Yeah.
Scarlett? Yeah. No, she's really hot. I think.
Yeah, so like I don't even know whether she's acting or what is happening. She's just really hot. I agree.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. You see like all this cool action stuff happening. And you're like, what entire city-sized war scene are you talking about? Because you're just looking at butt.
Yeah.
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 I'm
agreed.
old. Let's continue.
All right, back credit names.
Cool.
And you're the biggest liar of them all. I am warning you. You tell me another and I'll rescue myself. That is a promise, Miss
Rose, Sister Rose.
Of course. Another plant, Rose.
Bad credit names.
I love that bumper.
Oh, thanks.
Great bumper.
Tin Hickyik.
Ew.
Tin?
Tin Hickyik. Quack Law.
Right.
Not quack.
No, Quack. Richard Brake, which again is only funny if you do the word.
Dick Brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charles Leatherland. That's just a really ugly thing to imagine.
Yeah.
Vivian Mshasha Al Samurai.
Okay.
Wow.
Probably should have been the winner. Gina J.
Oh, that's a great name. You're heating up in the correct order, I think.
I think that should have been the winner. Ernst Geschwind.
Okay.
That's the winner.
Ernst Geschwind?
Yeah, Ernst Geschwind. It's Gschwind. All of those in a row.
Huh.
I didn't know how to pronounce it.
That's the only way you can pronounce that.
Ernst Geschwind.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's do the offensive minigame before we head into the movie comparison. I think maybe that'll work better.
Okay.
I'm going to kill you now, or I can relieve you of this gift. This black gift.
The not so mini offensive minigame.
All right, lobster Cosby crotch, or mixing drugs and demons.
Crotch,
lobster Cosby crotch.
It's fun to say, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Over encumbered ostriches, or dissecting demons.
Well, I never thought the ostrich thing was that offensive, so I'll say dissection demons.
I was thinking along the line of the demons because like they didn't know if they were like still like humans or just like temporarily in a demonic state. You're cutting people open and stuff, so I'd say that's worse.
Yeah, I agreed. That organically gets us to the bonus round. So we'll reverse these and go Doom first. A sleazy strip search.
Okay.
Or Cosby's pedophilic projection.
Pedophilic projection. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably worse.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Okay. To no one's surprise, Leonard Part 6 is the most offensive of those. And now we have the results, so we can just go through. Let's do the movie comparison.
Now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to compare the movies.
Leonard Part 6 and Doom. Leonard Part 6 has been kind of steamrolling so far. A negative 58.4 and worse is worse than a negative 52 and worst of its kind. So wins the first category. A team 5-star, another win for Leonard because I got a 4.33. Good job, Chris. Offensive, we already know that Leonard Part 6 is more offensive than Doom. Dialogue, what do you guys think? I'm going Leonard, I think.
I'm going Leonard, totally.
I'm going Leonard because like Doom didn't have bad dialogue. It was just contrived, and then like the exposition stuff was like, I mean they spoke the lines okay. It's just like the script sucked.
Yeah. Bad writing for production or casting The Rock?
Casting The Rock.
Honestly, I can't watch The Rock much more. I hope you don't pick much more of his work.
We should be doing one Rock and one Seagal.
Now I know exactly how to antagonize you guys. So thanks, Bob.
God damn it, Bob. He's going to put up on... never mind. Acting. Is it Leonard Part 6 or Doom?
I'm going to say Doom.
Leonard Part 6. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a tiebreaker here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Doom too.
Okay.
I think Doom.
That's 2 wins. Demerits, Bill Cosby. We don't have one for Doom yet.
That's because
Bill Cosby's going to win.
Bill Cosby's going to win that one for me too.
Yeah.
All right, so 5-2, worst of the season still is Leonard, Part 6, no surprise. We were talking about Seagal, so it's a nice segue here. On Deadly Ground is our next week's movie. Okay. It did win, yeah. It blew the other two out of the water, probably because we all voted for it and told our friends and family to vote for it.
And such a cast. Have you seen the cast of On Deadly Ground?
No, I thought I saw what's it? Gary Busey's son though, which I'm excited about. Is that
Jake
true?
Busey? He might be.
Jake
I'm not
Busey?
sure. But I know Michael Caine's in it.
Oh, that's right. Michael Caine's
and
in it.
Billy Bob Thornton's in it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
It's got quite the cast. So I'm looking forward to this because I know it's not going to be rated very high.
No, it's not good, but according to the critics.
It's one of his like third or fourth movie. It's not like his first one was Above the Law, right?
Yeah, well, I think this is 94
Yeah.
on Deadly Ground, so it is early for him.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait for that one. I just want to watch Sequel again. It's just so funny for me.
Right.
They are funny.
Well, as per usual, I will end by saying thanks and we love you. Thank you so much, and I'll send it over to Rob to plug us before we get Bob's last word.
Sure. www.theworstmovieevermade.com. It's a little link tree. It could take you to our YouTube. It could take you to our Instagram. It could take you to our TikTok. It could take you to Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, and our email.
Email.
What's that?
Email.
I was gonna say, and I'll say it. Loki's scepter.
Yeah, I think that's the way to end it. Hell yeah.
All right. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Toodles.
Bye, Craig.
Bye, Craig. I am hoping